Have you ever picked up your phone, stared at it for a moment, and wondered, is this really the best I could have chosen? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? In a world where our phones are practically extensions of ourselves, our cameras, our wallets, our entertainment hubs, even our connection to the people we love, choosing the right one matters more than we often admit. And if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the endless options out there, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're diving into something a lot of people in the UK have been quietly asking, which Xiaomi and Poco phones are actually worth it right now. Not just on paper, not just based on specs, but truly tested, experienced, and lived with. Because let's be honest, spec sheets don't tell you how a phone feels at 11 p.m. when you're scrolling through photos, or how it performs when you're rushing to capture a moment you don't want to lose. So, let's talk about the best Xiaomi and Poco phones, ones that have genuinely stood out. Why Xiaomi and Poco deserve your attention. Before we jump into specific models, let's address something important. Xiaomi has built a reputation for delivering incredible value. And Poco, as its bold and slightly rebellious sibling, pushes that idea even further, offering powerful performance at prices that often feel almost suspiciously low. For many people across the UK, especially those who don't want to spend £1,000 on a phone, these brands have become a bit of a hidden gem. But not every Xiaomi or Poco phone is a winner. Some are amazing. Some are fine. And a few are best avoided. That's why this list focuses only on devices that have been tried and tested, phones that actually hold up in real life. 1. Xiaomi 14, the premium experience without the madness. Let's start with something that feels truly refined. The Xiaomi 14 is what happens when Xiaomi decides to compete directly with the big names, without losing its identity. From the moment you hold it, there's a sense of quality. The design is clean, modern, and just feels right in your hand. Not too heavy, not too flashy, just confident. But what really stands out is the camera. This is one of those phones where you take a photo, look at it, and think, that looks better than I remember it. The colors are natural, the detail is sharp, and low-light shots don't fall apart like they do on cheaper devices. Performance? Smooth. Effortless. Whether you're switching apps, gaming, or just browsing, it never feels like it's struggling. This is the phone for someone who wants a premium experience, but doesn't want to follow the crowd. 2. Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus, the people's champion. Now, let's talk about something closer to what most people actually buy. The Redmi Note series has always been about balance. And the Note 13 Pro Plus might just be one of the best examples of that philosophy. It's the kind of phone you recommend to a friend without hesitation. Why? Because it does almost everything well. The display is bright and vibrant, perfect for watching Netflix on a rainy British afternoon. The battery comfortably lasts a full day, even if you're not careful with it. And the fast charging? Honestly, it feels like cheating. Plug it in for a short while, and suddenly you're back to nearly full. The camera isn't perfect, but it's more than good enough for everyday moments, family photos, nights out, random snapshots that end up meaning more than you expected. It's not flashy. It's not trying to impress. It just quietly delivers, and sometimes, that's exactly what you need. 3. Poco F6, performance that surprises you. Now this one is for people who care about speed. The Poco F6 is the kind of phone that makes you pause and think, wait, how is this fast at this price? Everything about it feels snappy. Apps open instantly. Games run smoothly. Multitasking doesn't slow it down. If you've ever been frustrated by lag, even just a little bit, you'll appreciate this phone more than you expect. But here's the interesting part, it's not just about performance. The design has improved a lot compared to older Poco models. It feels more mature now. Less like a budget powerhouse and more like a proper all-rounder. Sure, the camera isn't its strongest point, but it's decent enough for everyday use. This is the phone for someone who values speed above everything else, and doesn't want to pay a premium for it. 4. Poco X6 Pro, the smart budget choice. Let's say you're on a tighter budget. You still want something reliable. Something that won't frustrate you after a few months. Something that feels worth it. That's where the Poco X6 Pro comes in. This phone punches above its weight. The performance is surprisingly strong for the price. The display is sharp and smooth. And the overall experience feels polished enough that you don't constantly notice what you're missing. And that's important. Because some budget phones remind you, every day, that they're budget. This one doesn't. It just works. It's the kind of phone you buy, use, and forget about, in the best possible way. 5. Xiaomi 13T Pro, the underrated all-rounder. Now here's a phone that doesn't always get the attention it deserves. The Xiaomi 13T Pro sits in a slightly awkward space, between mid-range and premium. But once you actually use it, you realize how well it balances everything. The camera system is genuinely impressive, especially for portraits and everyday photography. The colors feel rich but not overdone. Performance is strong enough for almost anything you throw at it. And the battery life is dependable, something that becomes more important the longer you own a phone. What makes this phone special isn't one standout feature. It's the consistency. There's no major weakness. No obvious compromise. It just feels complete. What should you actually choose? This is where things get personal. Because the best phone isn't really about specs or rankings, it's about how you use it. If you want the best overall experience, go for the Xiaomi 14. If you want incredible value, the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus is hard to beat. If performance matters most, the Poco F6 will make you smile. If you're saving money, the Poco X6 Pro is a smart move. And if you want balance, the Xiaomi 13T Pro quietly delivers. But more than anything, choose something that fits your life. Not someone else's. A final thought. It's easy to get caught up in comparisons, reviews, and endless opinions online. But at the end of the day, your phone is a personal thing. It's the device you reach for when you wake up. The one you use to capture moments you don't want to forget.